welcome back to Last 60, Best 60 2018. My name is Lourdes and I created this video series for my friends to just share this process of getting to the end of the year with a lot of feeling of accomplishment, the feeling of really having a sense of our lives and our goals and our desires and our hopes in a way that feels very manageable, even though they're quite aspirational and maybe in a very extraordinary way. But I really believe that by working on our lives, we'll be able to live our best lives. And sometimes we just don't even take time to do that. But we do that in other areas of our life. Like we look at our gas tank. Do we have enough to get to where we want to go? We look at how much power we have in our phone. Do I need to plug it in? And sometimes when your phone's gonna die out of battery, and so you bring an extra battery. So we do this process in other areas of our life, and I just want us to focus on using very simple tools to look at our lives so that we can even get to the end of the year feeling strong and accomplished and connected and really doing the stuff that feels important to us, as opposed to just going through our lives and just letting things come at us and dealing with whatever's loud and colorful and bright. And that's kind of like what our world is meant to do, is like the loud things get our attention and the people who yell and scream and are nagging get our attention. But what if you could just really create your day based on what's important? And that's what I think is very possible for us, and I'm continuing to share this way of thinking about our lives. So today I want to talk about how are you meeting the joy. So I studied with this teacher, Brendon Burchard, and he has this phrase, bring the joy. So wherever you go, like you bring that feeling, that emotion, that attitude of joy. So you're not like waiting for someone to fill you up. And he says it in so many different ways, like, even to the work that you do, bring the joy, and, to friends and family, like bring the joy, and even the stuff that needs to get done, bring the joy. And he also mentions this little thing that I think is really important, is how are we meeting the joy? Sometimes we are so like looking down at the stuff that we're doing that we don't even notice some really awesome, amazing, joyful things that are happening to us. And that could just be simply like noticing, like when you walk into a room or walk into a conversation with a person or people, like how do you notice the joy? How do you notice what people find joyful? Because sometimes what we bring in terms of joy or positivity or optimism isn't how other people see it, but that could be like their way of being joyful. Actually, I was talking about this with my husband the other night. Like some people find dance really joyful and fun, just watching dance or doing the dancing. And he's a musician, and so I would just say, doesn't really appreciate dance as much as I do, but he really appreciates music. So I'm really tuning into what he sees and experiences as joy or fun or funny, in a way that instead of like, we have just different preferences, like really notice like how are you meeting other people's joy? Because I really believe that we, at our very deepest place, want joy. And some people were just never given permission to really feel and express and live joyfully. So it seems like a really simple thing to do, but just notice that today. How are you meeting the joy? How are you bringing the joy? Because really, like as we're going through working on our life, it doesn't have to be work in the traditional sense. I've actually always loved this kind of stuff, so I think it's really fun and interesting, and I always love when it's I have that time scheduled in to work on my life. So that's joyful for me. So if you want to have a great conversation with me, just say like, let's talk about learning about our lives, and that would really turn me on. But anyways, so keep working on your life, find the joy, bring the joy, meet the joy of really planning your life very consciously and purposefully. And I encourage you to share that with someone that, again, is meaningful to you and knows how important you are, and just share what you're up to in a very simple way. Like, hey, I'd really like to up-level, my adventure next year, or I'd really like to have a deeper relationship with my family. And when you share that with someone, they may either have a resource for you or share that with you. And so our conversations with people just get more deep as we go deeper into our lives. So that's my wish for you, is depth and joy. And have a great Saturday if you're watching this live or on day 51. And see you soon. Tell your friends about what you're up to. Share these videos if you think that they would like it. And any feedback, send my way. Thanks.